In 2022, we opened the box, and they came. Now, over 2 years later, we're sitting here wondering, what's the future of the Hellraiser franchise? Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and today I want to welcome you all to hell, because I am going to talk about Hellraiser, and specifically Hellraiser 2022 and the future of the series moving forward. Now, I have to preface by saying that I am a huge fan of Hellraiser. If you guys have followed my channel for any amount of time, you know that I love Hellraiser. I will defend it until my dying breath, and I think that it is a criminally underrated horror franchise, and Pinhead definitely deserves to be up there with the likes of Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, in my opinion. But I'm also not naive, or at least not naive in this regard. See, I know the Hellraiser franchise is not really the most popular. The last half of the series was released straight to video, a lot of them were super low budget, and some of them were just downright awful, so Hellraiser has not garnered the love and attention that some of the other franchises have. So consider me shocked when they announced a big budget remake for 2022. And watching the trailer, I was blown away by how well done this movie looked. I thought we had real actors, we had real set pieces, we had money, we had real makeup effects. I couldn't believe it. See, Hellraiser had been given the bastard child treatment for 20 years up to this point, so I thought this would never happen. The movie sits with a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is 2/3 of reviews are positive. Now, for a reboot of Hellraiser that went straight to streaming, that's a big deal. So I was really excited for this. I remember being blown away by the movie. Now, while it doesn't reach the heights of the original, Hellbound, or Part 4, it's the next best one after those three. And I love those three movies. So that's high praise for this one. I watched this one a couple times after it came out on Hulu because I genuinely couldn't believe that we got something as good as we did with so much love and craftsmanship. David Bruckner really had an affinity for Clive Barker's work, and it really showed through in this movie. And then, after all the reviews are positive, and I really liked it, I'm shocked to see that it was the most watched movie on any streaming platform the week of its release, and it was top 3 most watched anything in week of its release. Now that's a big deal. That's a really big deal, because guys, do I need to say again, this was a Hellraiser remake that went straight to streaming? Like, what? And you'd have to think that 20th Century Fox was sitting there and kicking themselves going, why did we not put this into theaters? We gave this movie a budget, it had a real team behind it, but maybe they got cold feet. They probably thought, who cares about Hellraiser at this point, right? Nobody does, so let's just take a shot in the dark. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think this movie would have been a bona fide hit at the box office, and I think we would have had a new movie by now. And that brings me to the premise of this video. Where is the follow-up to Hellraiser 2022? Now, there was a television series that was announced with David Gordon Green behind it years back. I think it was right around COVID when that was announced, and a lot of people were very lukewarm at best on that. And that was before Halloween Ends came out, so I'm sure nobody would want to see it now, except for me. That seems to be dead and buried. Nothing has progressed whatsoever with that project, and it seems like whatever that was has long disappeared from the minds of anybody at Fox. So why have we not gotten a follow-up to this one? When you get really good reviews, you have great streaming numbers, and genuinely most people seem to at least like it. I didn't find a single person that was like, Hellraiser 2022 was garbage. I think the worst thing I heard was, yeah, it was fine. It wasn't the same as some of my favorites in the series, but it was a decent enough reboot. So where's a follow-up? Now, a little less than a year ago, producer of 2024's film, Keith Levine, did mention that there are collaborations of ideas for a follow-up to Bruckner's movie. And for some people like myself, I was like, oh, cool, great. And it's been radio silence since then. Ben Jacobs had even said at one point, oh yeah, you know, we've got an idea, we're mapping out another movie. And then radio silence at that point. And it kind of makes you wonder, is that because 20th Century Fox has genuinely no interest whatsoever? Is it a Clive Barker thing? Is it a theatrical versus streaming thing? What's going on here? I don't know. And honestly, it's quite frustrating. We hit all the beats right here. We had some great effects with the Cenobites, and we got a nice little peek into the Labyrinth, into Leviathan. We got teases of what was to come about really building out this universe. We got some nice, acceptable characters. We got some really iconic moments replayed from throughout the series. And the biggest thing is, they nailed the casting of Pinhead. I could not believe it. I was skeptical because Doug Bradley as Pinhead is iconic. I do not think you will ever surpass Doug Bradley, but Jamie Clayton was great. I genuinely loved this like totally androgynous demon look, and I think she did really, really well in the role. Like, there were multiple moments where I was like, you're not Doug, but damn, like, you're good. I love the moment where she says,
"What is it you pray for?"
So I think we need to turn up the heat on this. I think we need to start talking about this more and asking questions. Whether you're an interviewer or a reviewer or have any kind of social media presence, I think people need to start talking about it more. You gave us a damn solid remake of a property that nobody respected anymore, and we didn't get a follow-up? It just makes no sense. Was it a write-off for 20th Century Fox? Like, what is going on here? Is there a bidding war happening because people were shocked that that movie was actually good? There's absolutely no information available to get any insight about why we haven't and why this is not being talked about. But I really want to know. So when I did my Hellraiser 2022 review, the gentleman that played the Chatterer commented on my review and said, hey, thanks for the review. I'm watching, blah, blah, blah. Because I had said, hey, if anybody involved in the movie's watching, let me know. So again, let me just mention that to anybody that may have been involved in this movie that is watching. Where the hell is this? And can we turn up the pressure here? Can we mount a campaign here to make this happen? Because I'm genuinely frustrated. Because I don't want to see Hellraiser languish for another decade or more, and then just reboot it again when you had the beginnings of something promising. Even if you walked away from this movie and you thought it was just fine, you have to admit, it was the beginnings of something promising. If this is your starting off point, that's pretty good compared to where we were at with Hellraiser. And in a world where we're getting movies that are just getting pumped out to us, that are just total crap, sequels just for sequel's sake, to properties that maybe never even deserved a sequel in the first place, why can we not give that treatment to something that did deserve a sequel in the first place? A world that does deserve to be viewed through the $30 million budgeted lens that we could get, or the $40 million or the $50 million. We deserve that. We deserve to see this world truly fleshed out. And so does Clive Barker. So I don't know, guys. I'm frustrated. I'm angry because I want more Hellraiser. But I want to know down below in the comment section, what are your guys' thoughts? Why do you think we haven't gotten a follow-up to this movie? And do you want a follow-up? Are you sad that David Gordon Green's Hellraiser television series seems dead on arrival? Or are you like, thank God, get this man away from everything I know and love? Whatever it is you want to discuss, please discuss it down below in the comment section. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In. And I think I'm going to open this box because there was this voice in there that was like, we have such sights to show you. And I was like, oh, really?